Good day, students. I missed you so much. I hope you're all staying safe and sound at home. And today we're going to revise some of the grammar rules, or all of the grammar rules actually, that we have taken through the second term of our school year. So let's start. The first question we have is complete with the correct form of the verb between brackets. So before I start, I'm going to leave you some time after each sentence, so you try to solve it on your own, and then check your answers with me. The first sentence says, my mother be sick, so my father cooked dinner for us in the evening, or this evening. So take your time. And I'm sure you did great answer. And then this is the answer. My mother is sick, so my father is cooking or is going to cook dinner for us this evening. The first part of the sentence, we used present simple. Why did we use present simple in the first part? Because this is a fact. My mother is sick. This is not something that we are not sure of. It's a fact. So we use present simple. With facts, we use present simple. And then the second part of the sentence, my father cooked dinner for us this evening. Why did we use present continuous or future simple? Because this is a future plan, something we are planning for the future. This evening, my father planned to cook dinner for us. Second sentence, every Sunday, Sally drives her kids to the football practice. Take your time. Are you ready? I'm sure you did great. Again. So every Sunday, Sally drives her kids to the football practice. Why did we use present simple here? Because this is a habit, okay? A habit is something that happens regularly from time to time. So, and also here we have a time expression for the present simple. What is the time expression we have? Can you answer that question? It's every. I'm sure you answered correctly. So, Sally drives her kids to the football practice every Sunday. Next, we move on to the third sentence. Don't forget to take your umbrella. It rain cats and dogs outside. Take your time. A great answer. And the answer is, don't forget to take your umbrella. It is raining cats and dogs outside. Why did we use present continuous? Because the action is happening right now. The action is happening right now. Outside, it's raining, so we use present continuous. So now we move on to the next sentence. I'm sorry I can't hear what you, because everybody talk so loudly. Take your time and solve the sentence. And I'm sure you did great. Let's see my answer now. I'm sorry I can't hear what you are saying because everybody is talking so loudly. Why did I use present continuous in both actions? Because they are both happening right now. Someone is saying something and everybody else is talking, and it's happening now in this time or at this moment. So we use present continuous. My brothers usually go fishing on Fridays, but this Friday they go hunting. Take your time. Amazing job. Let's see. My brothers usually go fishing on Fridays. This Friday they are going to go hunting. Why did I use present simple in the first part of the sentence? We said it before because this is a habit, and I have a keyword or a time expression for present simple, which is usually. Usually is called an adverb of frequency, and I have many other adverbs of frequency, like sometimes, often, and never, and they refer to present simple. That's why I said usually go. And remember that with adverbs of frequency, I use the verb after the adverb of frequency. So every verb has to come after any adverb of frequency. But verb to be has to come before it. So I can say I usually go to the club, but I say I am usually at the club. So remember that an adverb of frequency follows verb to be only. Okay? And the second part of the sentence, but this Friday they are going or are going to go hunting. Why did we use present continuous here? Well, because this is a future plan like we previously said in one of the sentences. So in this one, they are going to go or are going to or hunting, okay? So we use the present continuous in future plans as well as future with going to. Jim is talking to Denise and they are having a conversation. So Jim says, do you want to come over for dinner tonight? And Denise said, oh, I'm sorry, I can't. I go to the movies tonight with some friends. Take your time and solve the sentence. See my answer later. Amazing job. Excellent answer. Do you want to come over for dinner tonight? Oh, I'm sorry, I can't. I'm going to go to the movies tonight with some friends. Why did I use either present continuous or future with going to? Well, because this is a future plan. Denise is planning on going to the movies or to see a movie with her friends tonight. Amazing. Let's see the answer. I'm sorry I can't hear what you are saying because everybody is talking so loudly. Why did we use present continuous? This is very similar to the sentence we saw in the last slide. We use present continuous because both actions are happening right now. Someone is saying something and everybody is talking and it's happening right now. My brothers usually go fishing on Fridays, but this Friday they go hunting. Take your time, see my answer later. Great work. Let's see. My brothers usually go sailing on Fridays, but this Friday they are going to go hunting. Why did we use present simple in the first part of the sentence? Because of usually. This is a habit, like we said before, and we have a time expression, or this is called an adverb of frequency. We have it here, it's called usually, and we see that this is a habit. Every Friday they go fishing. But why did we use are going or are going to go in the second part? Because this is a future plan. This Friday they are planning to change and go hunting. Okay? So why the adverb of frequency, remember that a verb comes after the adverb of frequency. Every verb comes after the adverb of frequency except verb to be. So I can say I usually go, but I have to say I am usually at the club on Friday. So I use every verb after adverb of frequency except verb to be, I use it before. So let's move on. Do you want to come over for dinner tonight? Oh, I'm sorry, I can't. I go to the movies tonight with some friends. Take your time. Great job. I'm sure you answered correctly. Do you want to come over for dinner tonight? Oh, I'm sorry, I can't. I'm going to go to the movies tonight with some friends. Why did we use either future or present continuous? Because we are planning something for the future. Tonight, he's planning to go to the movies with his friends. Let's move on. I sit in a cafe when you call. Now remember, I have two keywords or time expressions for past continuous tense. And they separate or divide the sentence into two parts. The first part or the second part, we use a tense depending on when and while and where they are in the sentence. So in a when or a while sentence, we usually have two actions. The first action is usually long, and the other action is short, and it interrupts the first action or the long action. So if I'm explaining right now and someone interrupted me, I'd say the long action is in past continuous and the short action is in past simple. And remember, when is always followed by past simple. So the sentence we have here, it says, I sit in a cafe when you call. So I'm going to use past simple in the second part of the sentence after when. And in the first part, this is the longer action, so we're going to use past continuous. So can you solve the sentence now? I'm sure you did great. And I was sitting in a cafe when you called. What is the long action here? Was sitting. I was sitting for quite some time before you called. And when you called, you interrupted me or you stopped me from sitting in the cafe. And we have the next sentence. It's exactly the same as the previous one, but we changed it from when to while. What is going to happen here? While is usually followed by the longer action. So if we have while, we have to follow it by the past continuous verb. Okay? So I'm sure you are going to solve it correctly. Let's see the answer. While I was sitting in a cafe, you called. So the longer action here is sitting, exactly as the previous sentence, and the short action is called. So why did we use the past continuous at the beginning? Because I have while before it. Okay? This is not very different. We have two ways to use while. Sometimes you do something and no one interrupts you. Like when you sit at the cafe and someone is eating their lunch. They didn't interrupt you or they didn't do anything to stop you from sitting. So both actions here are long and none of them interrupted the other. So in this case with while, we usually use both verbs in past continuous tense. So let's answer and then see my answer later. Great job. I was eating lunch while my sister was studying. I was eating my lunch and my sister was studying. Everyone was doing something different and none of us interrupted the other. Okay? We move on to the next sentence. What they do at 10 p.m. last night. It was really noisy. Can you answer that on your own? Well, I'm sure you did great and answered it correctly. The answer is, what were they doing at 10 p.m. last night? It was really noisy. Why did we use past continuous here? Because I have a specific time in the past. At 10 o'clock last night, I was doing something specific. I am asking what were they doing. Okay, so if I have a specific time in the past, I usually use past continuous. Last summer, I go to Hurghada with my cousins. Can you solve this? Amazing answer. Last summer, I went to Hurghada with my cousins. Why did I use past simple here? First, I have a time expression. Remember that yesterday, last, ago are time expressions for past simple. So I'm saying last summer I went to Hurghada with my cousins. So remember, some verbs are irregulars. Most verbs with past simple, we usually add d or ed or ied. But some verbs are irregular, like go. It changed completely and it becomes went. Okay? We are done with the first exercise we have for this revision. And next we move on to a second part of the revision. complete with the correct form of the adjective between brackets. So here I'm revising comparative, superlative, and as. I'm going to remind you of some things we said before. Comparative and superlative and as are three different ways to compare between adjectives. We have three different ways to compare between adjectives. The first one is comparative, and comparative is when you compare between two things, me and my sister, the cat and the dog, the car and the plane. That's comparative. The second one is superlative, and superlative is usually when you compare between one thing and all of the others, like a girl and her class, a boy and his family, a cat and all other cats in the world. And the third part is as. It's usually used when you have two things that are equal. They are not different from each other. And if I want to make them different, I usually use not before as. So not as plus adjective plus as. So let's see the exercise and how it goes. My sister grew much tall my mother. So remember, this one I have a comparison between two things, my sister and my mother. What did we say we are going to use? Do you remember how we use it? I'm sure you do, and I'm sure you answered correctly. It's my sister grew much taller than my mother. So in comparative, we add er plus than to an adjective. So tall becomes taller than, fat becomes fatter than, thin becomes thinner than. So in comparative, where I compare between two things, I usually add er plus than to an adjective. I am short girl in the whole family. So remember here, I'm comparing between myself, I, and the whole family. Every other member in the family. What do I use? And how do I use it? I hope you remember, and I'm sure you did perfectly well. I am the shortest girl in the whole family. So in superlative, I put the plus est to the adjective. So short becomes the shortest, tall becomes the tallest, small becomes the smallest. Regina is good me. She is good student in class. This is a two-part sentence. The first part, I'm comparing between Regina and myself. And then the second part, I'm comparing between Regina and every other one in class. So what's going to happen in this sentence? Great answer, I'm sure. Regina is better than me. She is the best student in class. Why did I change the adjective good? Well, because good and some other adjectives like bad, they are irregular. They change as a whole. We don't add er or est, we change them from scratch. We make good changed into better or the best. Bad changed into worse or the worst. So in this case, when I'm comparing between Regina and myself, I used comparative, better than. And in the second part, where I compared between herself and every other girl in class, I used the best. That's superlative. Dogs are as cute as cats. So if you see the cats or dogs are not so different and they're both cute, they are equal in cuteness. What are we going to do in this sentence? Great, amazing job. Dogs are as cute as cats. As simple as that. In as, we put adjectives in between them with no change at all. Nothing happens to the adjective between as and as. Okay? The last sentence we have for today. Cats aren't as fast, cars aren't as fast as planes. What's going to happen here? Nice work. Cats aren't as fast as planes. So which one is faster here? Of course, it's the plane. And which one is slower? it's car. It's a car. It's the car. So I don't change the adjective between as and as, so they aren't as fast as planes. And that pretty much sums up our video, our first video of the revision. And I hope you solved the sentences as correctly as you could. I'm sure you did. And thank you.